GA Cup is the best premier event in North America for top young players.
We're here now. I love all of you. Put the game away. Trust in all.
It's probably the most competitive tournament here in the U.S.
60-minute games. Everybody can go hard, okay?
People are watching. Scouts, I have to show my skills to get where I want to be, which is pro.
My goal is obviously to be a professional soccer player.
Everyone here wants to go pro. That's the end goal of everybody. And we've seen this with many players coming out of our club, like Ben Hakarmaski and Ali Bedoya.
It makes me think that I could do it too, and it gives me that motivation.
I think the biggest thing is to be at MLS next.
On a beautiful sunny day in Bradenton, Florida, it is match day 1 of Generation Adidas Cup. It's the U18 level. Orlando City against Inter Milan on a windy day in Florida, alongside Katie Goodman and our great MLS broadcast team. Michael Watring with you as we take a look at the starting 11 for this Inter Milan group. And Katie, you look at this side. Physically imposing is the thing that you look at when you look at this team on the field.
Absolutely. They look like men. It's U18. You know, not everyone develops so quickly, but yes, this is going to be a match to watch. You've got guys like Leonardo Bovio there in the back who can really handle business, a staple in the youth national team, so keep your eyes on him.
And then on the other side for Orlando City, the Lions, one of the most dominant MLS Next teams in the U18 platform. They have 7 players with Next Pro experience.
It's a tough team to go up against, even as a really strong international side of Inter Milan. You've got Clovis Archange there in the center back role, huge top Canadian prospect, so he's going to be your guy to watch.
And we're underway here. It's Inter Milan in the blue and black kits, and it's the light purples for the Lions of Orlando City. As we kick back and enjoy this matchup, both sides excited for this one. And we spoke with the Orlando City group, a couple different coaches prior to the match, and they said, looking at this Inter Milan group, they are no joke physically. This is a test for this Orlando City team. The pace will be high in this contest.
That last game that we saw with Leicester City and New York Red Bulls, things started out with a bang, and you kind of have to here with these 30-minute halves. So off to the races we go.
Really good crowd for this one. Orlando not too far from our location here in Bradenton, about 3 hours of a drive across the state of Florida. This ball in the middle of the field, taken back. Andrea.
Both teams being patient to find seams here, both working with a 4-3-3 system of play at the moment. Might see a lot of the same good and a lot of the same bad in these situations. Not exactly complementary, exactly the same.
Well, it is one of those things that you do notice, and you don't really think about it as much if you're just watching as a neutral observer. But as you watch these games, typically you're so used to 90 minutes. You're used to that marathon style that you have time to grow into games. It's not as easy to do that in a 60-minute game, to make those adjustments on the fly, because sometimes there's just not enough time left. Flag up here for offside.
I'd say that it takes a solid 15 minutes just to get a rhythm going, or a change in momentum, and then you only get two 15 minutes to go within 30 minutes, obviously. But that additional 15 on top to make it make the half 45 really is everything. Not to mention you're used to, maintaining your energy in a certain pace throughout the half so that you don't burn out early on. And I think we saw that a little bit in the first half. And with it being the first day of games, it's just going to take some getting used to. It might see them starting to get a little more comfortable as the days go by.
Hudson plays it over. And here comes Inter Milan as they've controlled the possession so far in this matchup, and it's an Orlando City side that will be tested in this. Orlaccio swings it in. Orlaccio pounds the first shot into Juan Rojas's paws.
It's a nice look there to have it on your own. He also had Arturo running alongside there, just outside wide. Maybe could have made it across, but I like that he took it in and decided to go for it himself. Jersey pulls left and right here. And it feels like this one's starting off much more chippy than the last. Wasting no time.
Quick conversation as well. A little bit of a language barrier with the Italian group here.
The many challenges of traveling abroad.
Just on paper, you think that Orlando City have the edge just by travel. Getting jet lagged instead of that long flight over from Milan. Into the mix of this ball goes. A couple popped headers. Ovio heads it away.
Yeah, really just a bus ride away for Orlando. Not too far to go.
It's a quick pivot here from Hudson. Cycling it around. Ponti. Orlaccio. Niemi. Through it goes. Taken away defensively for a moment, but not long enough. Conti again. In the middle of the field it is. A nice maneuver from Cartello. Ball doesn't get the spin on it as it rolls all the way through. It takes a bobble. A man down in the box. There's no foul. Rojas comes out of there with it. Surge through the middle of the field. The tempo of this game off to a hot start.
Gustavo Carvalho with the Jets there, driving out of the back. Some great stuff, but I'm loving what I'm seeing from Inter Milan. Their ability to bring the ball down. Maybe not a best example there in that situation, but prior to this, their movement from side to side has really been impressive. Quick switches, finding seams, but it's Red Bulls here. Excuse me, Orlando City here. Too many games in one day.
Here's this ball in, and it takes a bounce. Gusky moves it back. Ellis. Robana. And around it goes now. There's our change. Platts. Best smell of possession here for the Lions. To his backside, Justin Hilton. And eventually, we get a foul on Inter Milan, much to the disdain of Magoye.
Only a few minutes in and lots of bodies on the floor already.
That sets Orlando City up with a good opportunity. It's an Orlando City group that their coach spoke to us about the fact that they have this expectation of success. They won a bunch of games at the U18 level. With MLS next. Now can they produce on this international stage? Header all the way across, and it ends up working out wide. David Biz will get a goal kick out of this.
Quality stuff, being able to redirect that one and put it into a really dangerous spot. Jackson Platts. Good stuff there. And you'd mentioned a couple of guys have played up at the MLS next level, next pro level, and a lot of these guys have been playing together for years, and that makes a difference.
Here's Inter Milan attacking, getting the edge, swinging it in, and ultimately out.
Looked a little antsy there. Of course, still adjusting to the wind. Something you'll hear us say a lot, probably, throughout the rest of this game.
And you look at this Orlando City group. At the MLS Next Pro level, 3-1-1, tied for second in the East. Among the top teams in the league with those 3 wins so far in the Next Pro stage. Very much a group that is used to success, used to winning. But on this platform at GA Cup, it is a different specimen to deal with. Of course, game 1, not going to determine their overall fate, but certainly something that can very much set the stage for these teams to try to get into those championship rounds, to try to hoist some hardware. Ellis heads it, chases after it, and then this ball will sky over towards the bench. Coaching staff over here for Inter Milan having a little bit of fun. Orlando City and Inter Miami 2 will play in the MLS Next Pro game here on Tuesday night. A foul is whistled. Colin Gusky gets taken down.
Hear coach saying, 2 touch, take it down a notch, simplify.
Colin Gusky resets play. Right back to our change. Youngest MLS-based player to appear for the Canadian international youth side as this ball's funneled forward, and out to get it is Biz down the park. It trickles all the way back for the keeper, and Rojas mishits as it backspins.
Not the first goalkeeper mishit we've seen.
And definitely won't be the last this week either. But if you're going to mishit one, might as well have it just go out of bounds instead of near your area.
Absolutely. Could have been worse.
Hudson. Conti. Top it goes. Here's Mirko. Bovio. Glides it out wide. Milan surging. 2 defenders come over, get a piece of it. And it's taken away by Judelson. This ball swung around, wrapping towards the right side. Bassinet chases it down along the tape and bounces it off of the body of Bovio.
Both teams doing really well not to give each other a ton of space. I mean, even if the ball's turned over, they're very quick to close it down. Moving really well as a unit on both sides. So this might very well end up being a stalemate match if they keep this up.
Quick turn, it's inside of the box, and it's a save by Biz. Nearly squirted by it, but he was able to slow it down enough to keep it out.
Like that ball got just tucked under his arm a bit, just enough to keep it out from crossing that line. Have a look back at this opportunity. Orlando just doing a really good job to build out of pressure, but again, just saved by the post. Oh, another angle. And yeah, he gets hands on it, saved by the post, and then, man, could have been anyone's ball there. Just not there in time. I'm really impressed by the speed of play of this game. There's a lot of really good pace, lots of physicality, good first touch.
I think you're seeing the quality of these young players that will most certainly make impacts up the ranks as they go on. The brilliant parts of Generation Adidas Cup is the stars of tomorrow on the field today. Our change. Funnels this ball right through the middle. Bassinet loses it. Hudson takes over. Just 2 total shots, 1 apiece so far. Roughly a quarter hour into this matchup. Michael Watcher and Katie Goodman and our team with you here on IMG Academy's campus in Bradenton, Florida. It's a good overlapping run here. Bassinet chases. Bassinet's early shot is saved by Biz.
Really quality development there, moving into the box. Probably a bit of a quick trigger, but it's tough. You got to get the ball off too. I mean, he's being closed down pretty quick there. I think some real quality there between the 18 boxes. Justin Ellis with a really good turn.
Here's another opportunity inside of the 18. And in the end, another save from Biz as he is become a stalwart with that shot from Pedro Cruz.
Well read there by Biz David.
Demands from the Inter Milan coaching staff to push this ball forward after being suffocated the last few moments as this ball hooks around and Juan Rojas catches.
Going back to the play between the 18 boxes here in the center circle area, we've seen these teams kind of struggle there in the box to finish and execute, and sometimes it's that final pass that they're not setting themselves up for success, but that all comes with time, and I think that's the change that you see from MLS Next to MLS Next Pro. Unfortunate miss there, clearing the top post.
And so much credit goes to the organizations of all the teams here representing that Generation Adidas Cup, getting these players ready at such a young age. We saw in that first matchup a couple 14-year-olds on the pitch at the U18 level that certainly have bright futures ahead of them. And as you watch these players continue to grow, continue to see their experience on the field, ultimately in the end, it truly is about the pathways that are provided for these young players to get them from that youth stage up to the professional ranks.
The fact that they get to play international teams, they get to travel on the scale that they do is such a rarity, something that didn't happen even, 10, 15 years ago. And now that's what it's going to take for the U.S. to play much stronger on the world stage. I'm excited for the World Cup. I know it's going to be here in our backyard in 2026, but in World Cups to come, because you're going to see a lot of these guys involved.
Transitional attacking moment. Caraballo punches this ball through the middle. It's Bassinet hooking this ball around, and it just does trickle wide.
Absolute clinic there, moving into the 18. Let's have a look at it. Beautiful diagonal. He's able to run onto it and finish almost just near the post. But the idea is really good, and you can tell they've played together. There's a confidence, an unspoken understanding.
I know you're excited for the World Cup, but there are some American fans that are not as excited after their performance at CONCACAF Nations League. The CONCACAF Gold Cup coming up next month. Or check that in June. It'll be quite the showcase to see where the Americans are at leading up to next year's World Cup. Meanwhile, Canada feeling confident, and that's where Clovis Archange is hoping to make inroads at the U17 level, the central defender here for Orlando City.
Yeah, tough showing for our men's team, but you know, this is the future right here. The youth of U.S. soccer, hopefully to save the day in years to come.
Across the field it goes. Inter Milan looking to get a shot attempt this time around. And ultimately, in the end, they've showcased that strength by muscling these balls well over the top, not just of the crossbar, but that back netting that plays behind these surfaces.
I think with this win, it's just really tough to play out of the back. I mean, we've seen it a couple times in the previous game, struggling to get out of that goal kick area.
Conte.
Things seem to be settling down a bit here. Orlando come out pretty hot there in the beginning. But can't forget, of course, time ticking down, already 19:25 on the clock.
Inside of the 18 here goes Inter Milan. This ball rolled to the top, and Gusky steps up to intervene. Now to Ellis. He's a one-man band out there. And defensively, Carbonara pokes that ball away.
Wishful thinking on the throw in there.
Archange showcases the poise that he has out of the back.
Beautiful touch.
Here's Gusky sprinting around. It's a well-timed slide tackle, but it goes over to Hilton.
Orlando City doing great to build out a pressure here. Nice 1-2 touches. Just not quite in the clear on that last pass.
Up the sideline. The brakes down here.
Talk about Inter Milan, such a name and a badge to wear and to carry here overseas. A team that's leading the way in Serie A. Can only have the highest of hopes if you're playing for this academy.
If you're in this academy, you know your talent is there. Playing for one of the premier programs in Serie A. Very much the hopes and the wishes of these players that they're eventually on that side.
So tough in those situations. Lots of competition and talent and lots of money to buy from other teams. Really a world-class recruiting club.
Punson. Cross whipping in. It gets knocked out, cleared away, but only as far as the top of the 18. Cartello was looming. King is Niemi. Punson. Putes it in. On the turn, here's Cartello. Conte swings this ball around. Rojas catches it. Nobody making that run all the way to the back post, and a little bit of a moment of encouragement there if you're Inter Milan.
Liking what I'm seeing. I think that win helped him to bend it a bit and you know, that's the thing. All you need is one really good connection, and then it all starts to click.
Leonardo Bovio, the captain of this U18 Inter Milan group. Scoreless here in Bradenton, Florida, between Orlando City and Inter Milan. Michael Watcher and Katie Goodman in our terrific MLS broadcast team with you for this matchup. Scoreless. Remember, 30-minute halves for 60-minute games in these Generation Adidas Cup games. Gusky pilfers. Here comes Gusky. A week out from his MLS debut. How wide it is. All the way across the field. Hilton was the target, but Conti steps up and ships it back down for Rojas.
Orlando doing a great job to just stay connected to their center midfielders. A lot of speed coming out of there.
Two players go down for a slide. It's Caraballo that comes out of there with it. Caraballo is in, dances around, gets taken down. No penalty despite appeals from the fans.
Thought for sure that had to be a PK.
Such a good run by Caraballo from midfield all the way to 12 yards away. And now we'll get a stoppage here, and Bovio is down, but we're going to get another look at that. What do you think here on the second look?
Let's take a closer look, and he's going for it, unattested here. Nice little back heel, tries to open himself up, and it's that chip from behind. You've got to step on the leg too. I mean, it's not looking too good there. It's not an obvious foul either. That's the hard part about it. I definitely don't envy the refs.
So Bovio down back behind the play. Gives us a chance to preview tomorrow's action. It'll all start in the U16 age levels. Real Salt Lake and Club America. 2 U16 games to kick off today. And then at 2:30, the U18s kick into action. Sounders and Inter Miami both playing in our matches tomorrow on MLS's YouTube channel. We'll have wall-to-wall coverage kicking off at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Hope you can tune in with us for Sunday action here in sunny Florida. Off, and they were explaining, the officials, to the coaching staff in between action here about that situation between Bovio and Caraballo, about that sequence, about why that wasn't a foul, why the play wasn't stopped before that. Ultimately, it didn't go back to Hunt, Inter Milan, but closing in on the end of the first half. Bovio back on the pitch, so back to even 11 v 11. Might be heading down towards a 0-0 finish to the opening half. Shots are 4-2 in favor of Orlando City. That ball rolls towards the corner. Pedro Cruz guides it, but cannot keep the ball away as it comes back out. Here's Cartello looping it around, and Rojas is there with Angelo Orlacchio.
Was trying to see it out over there, and it just lost pace. Good on Inter Milan to put a shoulder on it.
This play happening right in front of us, and Katie, I was just thinking, if one of these balls takes a deflection, I'm going to need your cat-like reflexes to save me over here, because this could really be something over here.
You got it. You got it. No guarantees, though. I've only been concussed a few times, so what's one more?
Excellent overlapping run here. Judelson started the run, but instead it gets taken away, and a slip and a slide and a foul. Looks like we're trending towards a couple more minutes of stoppage time here in the first half of this good matchup. These two teams playing at a high level, but so far nothing to show for it out of these two groups. Gusky intervenes, takes it away. Here comes Ellis. Ellis looks for Gusky. Instead, it gets knocked away defensively by Bobbio. Cruz back on it. And Jonathan lays it back, and a chance to reset here for Orlando City before the end of the first half. Ellis holds it up, weaves it out wide. Caraballo. Ellis chips it in. Caraballo chases. Caraballo cuts it back, and that is a brilliant team goal that is waved off with the offside flag.
So wildly unfortunate there for Orlando City. The buildup was really something else. I mean, the patience, not needing to force anything. Most teams are getting really antsy at this point, but no, they settle the nerves. It's a nice little through ball, but the run is offside. As you can see, the sideline ref calls it there. Man, would have been a pretty goal. Justin Hilton getting on the end of that one.
We're going to get our first booking of the match as well. Yellow card is out. Colin Gusky, the man that takes the wrong end of that.
Where do you go? Where do you go, Tino? Where do you go?
How about Colin Gusky? 28 appearances in MLS Next Pro, and last week, a week ago today, made his MLS debut at Philadelphia Union. You can see the quality that he has in the middle of the park. Very much another one of these men for Orlando City that will work their way through the pathway and eventually be the man at the first team. Ellis bangs that ball off of a defender to win the first corner of the match for either team.
Gusky must have taken quite a knock, still working to walk it off there. Such a key player in the center of the park for Orlando.
Here's Hilton. Hilton arcs this ball up and over the top. Why not give it a go from there? Fifth shot of the match for Orlando City as we close in on the end of this first half of play. Chips this ball into the middle. Okoye, and now Bobbio. Will there be enough time for an Inter Milan dash before the end of the first half?
Got a couple guys camping backside. Might be a good time for a switch.
This ball, in the end, disappoints Okoye. The black and blues of Italy see this one through to the end of the first half. And a hot tempo, a high pace, ends up seeing 30 minutes down and scoreless here between Inter Milan and Orlando City. We'll step out for a break. Highlights from our earlier matches and first half highlights from this one. Scoreless so far in Bradenton.
You ready? MLS is game on. Don't you? On. Stars on.
Kevin Sullivan, the history maker. That's it!
50,000 friends? On. Rivalries on.
Versus New York City.
MLS, this is our soccer. Game on.
Vibe.
51 different clubs from 14 countries, all vying for a Generation Adidas Cup title. PSV Eindhoven from the Netherlands off to a lovely start in the U16s, a 1-0 win over DC United. AJ Ricketts, Kalen Carr, Eindhoven got off to a very positive start. A couple of chances off the foot of their left back, Dyron Stom, nearly found the nets.
Yeah, Stom was really good in those wide areas in this first half, creating opportunities, one-on-one ability, serving the ball in. You can see just the patience a little bit, little hesitation, stop, starts. It's that change of direction, the dynamic, and then the ball served in. Shakenrad had a few good looks, but wasn't quite able to put that on net.
DC United, this was their best opportunity of the entire match. It goes right to the foot of their best goal scorer and then goes awry.
Yeah, Aviles did really well on the pressure defensively and then stands the ball up well. And Barrias had 13 goals on the season. It's a really good look from him, but he just wasn't quite able to get on top of it.
Opening match of this prestigious tournament. Just a tough miscue right here defensively for DC United, and Obama Apia takes advantage.
Yeah, PSV did a good job of upping their line of confrontation in the second half and get rewarded for it right away with Apia coming across from that left winger position, tucking in, really good defensive structure, and takes advantage with the first time finish.
One last chance, the dying seconds of this game, coming off a free kick. And balled around. DC United committed numbers forward, but never really could get a clean chance.
Yeah, DC had to throw numbers forward in the end, but just not quite able to turn that into a clear chance.
We're off and running at the Generation Adidas Cup. Well, the scenic views of Sarasota greeting those all around the globe who have made their way to the Generation Adidas Cup. And FC Tokyo from the Pacific to Sarasota to a 2-1 win over Toronto FC here today. AJ Ricketts, Kalen Carr. It was, tell you what, it was Toronto right out of the gate, 6th minute, that struck first for the early goal.
Yeah, and this was the profile of match that Toronto FC wanted to see, an end-to-end open affair where they're able to get on transition. It's excellent hold-up play from Kervon Kerr to start this play, to spring it out wide, and then unselfish there from Devontae Simon to square it across, and it all seemed to be going the direction of Toronto FC coming back, but switch things up a little bit. This is lovely little play here to then find the inside-out run here from Nakata, and then he just cuts it across. Lovely little cutback. Hajiyama with the finish brings them right back in this.
FC Tokyo did not blink at any point of this match, even when they went down early. They were the aggressor, the attacking team on the front foot. Hajiyama scores. Shootout Joel also a tally for this Tokyo side that earned victory here today.
Yeah, and credit to Shozaki also, who sprung that one wide to Nakano before he gets the one-on-one opportunity. But this was the issue for Toronto FC, was building out of the back was an issue throughout most of the match, especially the second half. And FC Tokyo took advantage by just jumping that lane, being aggressive, keeping that press, this extra pass here, and then how about this technique from Shootout Joe? Excellent finish.
Kajiyama scores the first, Shootout Joe scores the second. FC Tokyo are off and running at the GA Cup, 2-1 over Toronto FC.
We needed penalties to decide the U18 matchup between Red Bulls and Leicester City. 1-1 through full time. 4-3 at penalties. Michael Watcher and Katie Goodman and her team recapping the match, and it would be this surge from Leicester City that produced the game's first goal.
Able to get out in transition. They miss it the first time off the post, but it's Lorenz Hutchinson who slots it away, cleaning up the mess there. Just fantastic work catching Red Bulls off guard.
A ball that hits the post from King. Hutchinson cleans up, and it was 1-0. But at the end of the first half, Moni C was able to pick out Nelic across the face of goal to tie the score.
Nelic doing such a great job to hold his run there, to find the space, to make it an easy look at goal, and also to just hold down those nerves and put it away cleanly.
That tied it right before halftime, and then it ends. 14-year-old versus 14-year-old. Shevchik gets the better of Monsi.
Unfortunate there. It's already so impressive for them to be there in the first place. And nobody ever wants to lose on penalties either. So great performance from both teams, but really it's man of the match who seals the deal, Matteo Zambrano.
Zambrano wins it, and the Red Bulls take it in penalties. 4-3 over Leicester City.
I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. It's a jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
You ready? MLS is game on. Don't you? On. Stars on.
Kevin Sullivan, the history maker.
30,000 friends on. Rivalries on.
Versus New York City.
MLS, this is our soccer. Game on.
And we welcome you back here to IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. Michael and Katie back with you. We're scoreless at halftime. And in that first half, Orlando had the better of the chances, and they were really good inside of the 18.
I mean, great stuff from line to line. It was just that finishing touch there in the 18, just falling short. You can see her almost skirting by Inter Milan in this moment. It falls, it hits the post, and it's anybody's ball, just not there in time. A couple of situations like that there for Orlando City.
And then this opportunity from Hilton just does trickle wide in the end. And after 45 minutes of play, 5 shots to 2, the advantage for Orlando against Inter Milan. And this second half getting ready to get started. Orlando in the light purple kits. It's the blue and black for Inter Milan in this matchup, and we are underway here in half number 2. 5 changes for Inter Milan at halftime. They bring in 5 fresh bodies for this second half of play, and we'll see what kind of impact those 5 might make here in this second half. And why not give 5 fresh men legs? It's Alessandro Nena, Anas El Mabubi coming in, as well as Roberts Hukilis, Filippo Cherpelino, and the other one is Luca Leoni. All 5 coming in to this matchup for Inter Milan. So we'll see how these two sides fare in this second half of play. But that ball bounces off of Pedro Cruz, resetting the stage on this one. It's the U18 group stage, and it's the first day of competition here in the Generation Adidas Cup. 10 groups of 4. Those 10 groups stage winners will advance to the round of 16. The top 6 number 2 finishers will advance as well. That'll make up your 16, leading all the way up to the championship round 8 days from now on April 20th to crown a Generation Adidas Cup champion at both the U16 and the U18 levels.
Always an absolute game changer when you make that many subs. Definitely going for a different approach here. Still looking like the 4-3-3, but excited to see how these changes just change the energy in the game.
Mabubi sprints in, slams on the brakes, nearly had a bit of an angle, but it gets shut down. Intensity picking up yet again here in this second half. Carbonara. Here goes El Mabubi, playing it backwards. Carbonara curls this ball around. Rojas watches it sprinkle past him. Kukalis was the nearest target. Well, nice crowd showing up to watch this one. Only a few more games still going on around this complex that has a boatload of pitches to play on. And another foul whistled. Cerpelletti now wearing the captain's armband, with Bovio coming out. Nena. Mabubi bounces it off of a defender's legs, and it goes out for a corner kick, and it's the first one of the match here for Inter Milan, and we'll see what they can do off of a set piece. And Filippo Cerpelletti will be the man that does the honors here on this corner kick. Cerpelletti tosses it in. First time touch. Right back to Cerpelletti, and Pedro Cruz had it read. And now the flag up on the far side for offside. So instead of a throw, it's a free kick for Orlando City.
Lucky there for Inter Milan. You can see the wheels turning. Orlando doing well to sit tight, not overcommit. Once again, really impressed by the maturity of the guys out here, both mentally and physically. Just doing a great job to hold up.
Taken away here by Cartello. Cartello was taking the shot. In the end, it takes a ricochet off of another defender. And a corner kick for Inter Milan. They're second here in the last couple moments. One of these two teams trying to seize control of the plot. Anas El Mabubi. Lines this ball up. Cerpelletti again unable to get it past Cruz, who has been a one-man wall. Mabubi lays it forward. Carbonara and Cruz again appealing for a goal kick, and will not get that one. Milan forcing the issue now, but they still have not been able to get a shot attempt out of this sequence. This corner kick whipped in. It takes a ricochet, and it finds the net. Roberts Kukulis opens the scoring, and it's the Italian side that has the first goal.
Somehow manages to find a seam in all of that traffic. Have to have a look back at it. Ball is played in, seems to get a heel on it, finds a way through. Some tricky stuff there for Kukulis.
Really a brilliant header there by Kukulis.
You can hear his teammates saying, "Hey, go Kuku!" Love it.
Well, how about the impact that the substitutions have? Anas El Maboubi and Roberts Kukulis, 2 of the 5 halftime changes, provide the goal.
It's the beauty of super subs.
That long transitional moment after Inter Milan just could not get a shot attempt off, and Orlando could never clear the area. How does Orlando City respond at this point, being down by a goal? Unfamiliar territory for a team that has been among the most dominant in MLS Next in this age group.
I think these are the moments where it's like, yes, you got to let being down a goal motivate you, but you also don't want to change it up too much. What you've been doing is pretty good. That was a really crazy goal there from Inter Milan. Kuku, as they call him, slotting it away with a nice little flick.
Ellis decides to take this ball forward and ultimately throws it right behind Bassinet. Hilton tracks it down, and Hilton gets his team a corner kick.
Bit of miscommunication. He was going for the diagonal run. He went for the diagonal pass. Happens to the best of us. It's just unfortunate that it happens at that time when you're just about to rebuild that momentum.
So a corner kick here for Orlando City. Can they take advantage of a corner? Dylan Judelson swings this ball, high arcing, back post it goes. It's headed to the ground by Gusky, but picked out of the air by Biz.
Once again, Gusky up, almost able to meet it, just can't quite connect with it the way he needs to. Easy catch there for Inter Milan.
Long ball through the middle of the park, knocked out. Orlando City with 20 minutes to try to make something out of this, down by a goal against Inter Milan. Michael Watran, Katie Goodman and our team enjoying day 1 of Generation Adidas Cup.
At this point, Orlando just trying to maintain possession. Inter Milan doing a really good job here of kind of dictating play. Half the battle is just regaining possession and then keeping it, finding that rhythm again.
So much of the value of this tournament is seeing the different ways that other teams are able to be creative. And now it looks like both sides are preparing for changes. It's going to be Manuel Verre coming in for Inter Milan. He replaces the man that picked up a yellow card in the first half, Matteo Carbonara.
Yes.
And then on the other side for Orlando City, it is Baksuski Rather coming in. Justin Hilton, the man that is summoned off. This ball through the middle, and only real one target there. Right. Good turn. Yet again, defensively, it had to be handled. Fine work there by Sean Platts. Frustration setting in here for Orlando City. Some of these passes that they're used to connecting, the goals that they're used to scoring, not quite latching on at this point.
This is part of the character building process. How do you react when you're down in a new environment? Not going down without a fight, though.
These teams play such a defined brand of football, from the first team all the way through the academy levels.
See, Orlando City's trying to stay calm, not force anything. It's good. Inter Milan doing a great job to get super compact, but again, you can't give it too much time. Got to keep pace on that ball. And in those tight pockets, that's where lots of movement is really important. When the field is nice and open, you can run onto diagonals and find passing lanes, but when it's really compact, you got to keep moving.
Couple changes coming for Orlando City, trying to make their impact. Parker Amumensa and Sebastian Sidlow are coming in. It's Cruz and Bassinet coming out. Those changes happening here in the 45th minute. And remember, 60-minute game, so a quarter hour still to go in this one. Orlando City be able to equalize this matchup.
Tiki-taka type movement here for Inter Milan, able to just build out under pressure. Orlando able to shut him down there. Gustavo Carvalho in the mix always. Another impressive guy here for this Orlando City team. Youngest player to sign a homegrown deal in club history, just at 16 years old.
Well, it's a foul just outside of the box against Inter Milan. And a really good opportunity here for Orlando City to try to pull level. Inter Milan scoring off of a set piece on a corner. Will something similar occur here for Orlando City?
This could be the moment that changes everything.
Two men sent up their blockade. Caraballo throws it right out top. It's a low shot in, and it beats the keeper. Sebastian Sidlow ties it in the 47th minute. His first touch levels the terms at 1.
What a shot. The crowd standing on their feet. The ball goes through. He's able to find a seam. It seems like on both sides, teams just managing to find a way to get by. And yes, the crowd roars.
How about that response to tie the tally? And it's 1 apiece, and we have 13 minutes to play in this one.
Best thing about this level is they can all change in a blink of an eye. All it takes is 1 goal.
Well, you speak with a lot of different coaches in the youth levels, MLS Next Pro levels, the second division levels across the country and across this tournament. And as much as there is an emphasis on developmental through technique and skill, there's ultimately also that conversation about learning how to win matches, learning how to play in game management situations. And those moments are ultimately the ones that are the lessons that are the hardest to teach.
Just can't replicate that game experience, let alone an experience playing international clubs. It's just amazing from top to bottom.
I got it. As careful as possible. I cannot mess this up.
Gusky takes that ball away off of the throw. Gusky's again right there, and his pass arcing for Ellis has too much on it.
You can see they're happy to put Inter Milan in a little bit more pressure.
This ball thrown through the middle, and here's the goal scorer, Kukulis. Kukulis tries to find the space, instead carves out an opportunity for El Maboubi. Plays it right out to the top. Cerpelletti hits this off of a defender. That ball was smashed and ultimately rolls out for a goal kick. Cerpelletti hit that ball really well, and Sidlow got in his way.
If it weren't for Sidlow, that very well would have gone in the net, I'm sure. It was quite the drive, and he's completely unaffected, which is a great sign. But yeah, it's hard to ignore the first touch, the pace in which that Inter Milan plays, and out of these tight spaces. I mean, really great experience for all of these young players. And a lot of times you see it in those most congested moments, the real quality that shines through. Easy read there for Orlando.
.10 to play. Will we need penalties for the second time in a U18 matchup here today? 37th minute goal off of a corner from Kukulis, and a 47th minute goal from Sidlow off a Caraballo free kick. Now the 2 goals in this matchup. Here goes Lamine Ballo. Cross comes in, and it's our change that knocks it away.
The distribution from the center backs from Inter Milan is really next level. I mean, I've seen multiple extremely accurate passes, whether it's driven or in the air, and definitely has something special along the back line there.
Ellis chases after this ball. Plenty of time, though, for Niemi. Conti. Here's Ballo again. Made his youth national team debut for Italy in 2024. Did Ballo. Well, his family moved from the Ivory Coast when he was 1 year of age and joined the academy back in 2017. Sherpaletti, Ballo again. Evades a defender. Ballo is inside of the box. Wraps this ball around. Gusky is there. The MLS debut a week ago. Showcases that skill set that got him to that top spot. Sherpaletti. Captain of Inter's U18 team, is a defensive midfielder.
Defensive mid is also such a key position, you know, right there with the center back, saving the day most times, having to get up in the attack too.
Mabubi funnels this ball through the middle. Cartello out wide. Varese attempt to get it in. Gets knocked away.
Almost got the seagull floating above.
Floating's a good term for it. They get stuck in this wind.
Yeah.
Much like the ball does sometimes on these long balls down the park.
Only in Florida. Getting into those final minutes here. I'm sure neither team wanting to face PKs. It always feels so unfair when you have to get to that point. You've played a hard-fought game.
The ball rolls out for a goal kick. One wrinkle about everything in this tournament in particular, when it's youth sides from MLS versus international teams, particularly this Orlando City team with 7 players with that MLS Next Pro experience. Is an MLS Next Pro, games do not end in draws. You go to penalties to decide that extra point. So there's a little bit more experience perhaps for these MLS teams if we get to that point. Also means that there's some tape out there on them as well for the scouting departments.
That's the double-edged sword of becoming really good at what you do. You start to get a target on your back.
El Mabui showcases that hip swivel, but in the end falls to the ground, and defensively flawlessly executed by Sean Platts, who has scored a goal in his 15 appearances with Orlando City B.
Quality work there from Platts, getting back to handle business. Between him and Pedro Cruz, they really have sealed the deal there in that outside right back position, not letting really anything through on that side. Not even the quick feet of El Maboubi.
Down to the final several minutes of this matchup before penalties will decide things. Sherpaletti, the captain, lays it back. Niemi out wide. After a bounce, it's Conti. Conti gets shut down at the top of the 18 by Gusky. Gusky arcs this ball to the top. Ellis races, and he gets there in time along the chalk. Ellis with choices, throws it through the middle. Caraballo just does not quite have the pace or the angle to get there.
Still a thorn in the side here for Inter Milan. Again, a really good example of building up and out. Just cleaning up that very last pass.
th minute. Goals sent at 1 apiece. Kukali's in the 37th for Inter Milan. Sidlow in the 47th for Orlando City. Has us tied at 1 apiece. Archange has the angle, and Archange, the Canadian Youth International, plays this ball away. And it's a foul on the Black and Blues. Gusky gets fouled. Gusky slices this ball across. Platts tries to go right back through the middle, and it's too much.
Unlucky there. Idea was good. See, he was trying to just redirect that. Platts, one of those players who, from these few short minutes I've observed, has done just really good on both sides of the ball.
Platts gobbles this one up in the high press and wins his team a corner. And this is a similar location to where the goal came from. It was just outside of the box for a free kick. Now it is a corner kick.
Once again, another opportunity to seal the deal here.
I'll tell you stoppage at the end in case something happens.
Caraballo prepares for this corner. 59th minute, tied at 1. Gusky comes sprinting over. Caraballo gets the angle, hooks it around. Archange unable to rise to the occasion.
Absolute beautiful ball in. Contested there by Inter Milan.
Here's a foul and a booking. A yellow card here.
Pretty intense foul there.
Robana is the man that picks up the yellow.
I understand he's trying to stop the play, but I think it was more of a football tackle than anything. American football.
Cherpaletti. Elmabubi. We're hearing 2 minutes of stoppage time, and it looks like that will stand. Elmabubi again hooks this ball in. It comes flying out to the top. Rolls wide, and indeed confirmed 2 minutes of stoppage time here as this ball bounces back towards Biz.
Got to credit Gustavo Caraballo for that one, getting back, going fully out of position just to stop that potential shot. Team player there.
Ellis arcs this over the top. Biz is out and now backpedals. Remember, back in that first half, Orlando City had a brilliant maneuver through the middle of the field. And the goal that was scored was waved off due to offside, and now they have 2 players down. Our change is back down to our left, and there it is Justin Ellis that is injured.
Fortunate to see so early on in the tournament. Hopefully able to get up and walk that off.
Well, coming up tomorrow, it's the U16s. It is Club America in Real Salt Lake at 10 a.m. to start things off in that MLS versus Liga MX side in Club America. Then at noon, LAFC and Busan HDFC. At 2:30, we'll have Seattle Sounders against Daeon Hana Citizen. And then 4:30, it'll be the U18 Inter Miami group against Club Boulevard at 4:30 to wrap things up on a quadruple header of action on a Sunday and day 2 of Generation Adidas Cup. Ellis appears to be okay as he's back up to his feet and walking over towards the sideline. Imagine that'll add a few more moments to this matchup as we're well beyond the 2-minute minimum. So we are back into play. Ellis is back on the field as well. Maybe laboring still just a little bit, but back out there to try to see this one all the way through. Header stays in play. All right. Cherpoletti hooks this ball over to the left-hand side. El Mabubi chips this ball. It skims off of Sidlow's head and back towards Rojas. Trending towards penalties to the side. The opening matchup here between Inter Milan and Orlando City. Bomb down the park. Hughes is over to pick it up.
Potentially be the last play. Good use of their defensive center midi there. Get out of pressure.
Full-time whistle blows, and to penalty kicks we go. 1-1 in full time. Inter Milan scored first. Orlando City strikes back, and we go to penalties. We'll have those when we come back here to Bradenton, Florida in just a moment.
I'm hanging on like a fridge to a magnet. A jigsaw with all the right pieces. You and me, we go good together. You and I go good together. You and I, we go good together. We go good together.
You ready? MLS is game on. Dolce? On. Stars on.
Kevin Sullivan, the history maker.
30,000 friends? On. Rivalries on.
Versus New York City.
MLS, this is our soccer. Game on.
Penalty kicks will decide this matchup between Orlando City and Inter Milan. And this matchup has been a fun one. Intensity ripping and roaring from the beginning of this contest. But ultimately, in the end, nothing decided through full time, and penalty kicks will decide it. Orlando ended up out-shooting Inter Milan 7-3 during regulation. Second half had a great deal of chances, but ultimately set pieces were the ones that decided those. And now it'll be on the keepers. Juan Rojas for Orlando City, and it will be David Biz. That will have to be the man that sets the stage for Inter Milan.
Really a truly even matchup there. Momentum not going too far one way or the other for either side, and made the most of those corner kick opportunities. And now more set pieces to be had. Question is, can they put it away under pressure here?
We saw this tale play out in our first U18 matchup. It was the European group, Leicester City scoring the opener before the MLS side, New York Red Bulls, tied it. It went to penalties. It was a fascinating watch in penalties as well, with Red Bulls winning it. Obi Shevchik making the save in round 5 when it was tied, before Matteo Zambrano finished it to clinch it. And now, similar setup, and things will happen to our right-hand side.
I guess when you have 30-minute halves, you get a lot of PK shootouts, so I'm sure it's not the last one we're going to see here in the tournament. Again, opportunity to add something to the stat sheet here.
Well, Inter Milan will be the first kick taker, and it'll be Dominic Cartello. That will be the man stepping forward for Inter Milan, leaders of Serie A at the top stage right now. And Juan Rojas will be the man that has the duties of this one. The all-important extra point at stake here in this one. Dominic Cartello lines this up. It'll be the right foot swinging, and it's a save from Rojas to set the stage.
What an absolute rock star ninja of a save here. Guesses the right way. Has no problem getting both hands to that ball either. He's feeling good.
That is one heck of a way to start things off, and a hug to the man that will try to ignite things for this Orlando City crew. Gustavo Caraballo, who had the assist on the Orlando City goal, steps up. Everybody down on that end of the field watching. Caraballo steps, chips, and scores.
It's the stutter step that gets him that goal. Waits to commit the keep. As you can see there, wise move, just a half a stutter, wide open net.
Caraballo does his part, and now Lamine Ballo, the man that was born in the Ivory Coast, moved to Italy at age 1, has been in the academy for 8 years for Inter Milan.
That's what you call being born into soccer, and dedication.
Ballo is ready. Rojas saved the first. Ballo strikes this ball and finishes clinically to the left.
No hesitation needed there for Ballo. Full follow through. Lots of pace on it. Keep just wasn't able to guess the right direction. The goal there for Inter Milan.
So now it's Dylan Judelson. Judelson represented Canada at the U17 CONCACAF Championships. Judelson kicks this ball to the right and into the net.
I think you might be right, Michael, about the experience going to MLS Next Pro. It's just the composure and the calm, the confidence here for Orlando. Like they've done it before.
They practice it a whole lot with that MLS Next Pro. Rojas dancing around. He's got his routine. You see all the fans for Orlando over there. You have the cameras out as well. And it's the goal scorer for Inter Milan, Kukulis, striding, and it just does beat Rojas. He got his paws to it, but it slides underneath and goes in.
Oh, man, you know he's kicking himself for that one, but it really says a lot about his quality that he was able to guess the right direction. Just couldn't match the pace. Tried to commit him with a stutter step, gave him enough time to judge where that ball was going. Just right underneath.
2-2, round 3. And here comes Colin Gusky. Gusky hits this ball and tucks it away. No time wasted. Biz went in that direction and it goes past.
Gusky with the pace. Have a look here. Right into that tiny little low 90 pocket. No one's getting that ball.
Well, on to the next round we go. And here is Anas El Maboubi, looking to tie the terms again. El Maboubi hits this ball, and that is clinically taken, roofing it to the top.
You always hold your breath in those moments because you don't know if it's going to clear the post or hit the roof of the goal there. Had no problem putting some power behind that. Absolute stunner of a goal.
Every Orlando City player have been quick and decisive in their shot attempts. Justin Ellis, who was injured in the waning seconds of the second half, steps up to take. Ellis hits this ball and yet again finishes strongly. And it all comes down to this for Inter Milan. They have to score here to extend.
Absolute steady here between all of these guys from Orlando. Nothing different here for Ellis. Just another day in paradise.
Filippo Cerpelletti, the captain of Inter Milan. Juan Rojas has saved one. He's got his hand on another. And now tries to clinch it for Orlando. Cerpelletti strikes it and curls that ball into the top corner.
Keeps his team alive there. Impressive finish. Again, following through. Really tough one to get to, even if you are guessing the right direction, is evidence there.
And now the man that can win it for Orlando City is Platts. Sean Platts. One of the 7 with MLS Next Pro experience. David Biz has not made a save. Can he do so here in round 5? Platts circles, stutters, strikes. He hits the crossbar. Inter Milan have a lifeline as we go to round 6.
Unlucky, he looks a little bit unsure of which way he's going to go. He's trying to commit the keep with a stutter step, doesn't get it. Hits the post. Angel on the goalpost there for Inter Milan, staying alive. Platz has had such an incredible game this whole game. Again, doing great to defend on one side of the ball, get up into the attack as well. So, happens to the best of us.
Alessandro Nena. He gets denied. Rojas yet again makes the save.
What an absolute save. He has just been on point the entire game. The one that got by him was a tricky one, not to anyone's fault. And the way he has shown up in goal today is incredible.
Rojas makes his second save in penalties. And Omar Robana tries to finish it off. Left-footed strike. Robana curls it in. Orlando City outlast Inter Milan. 5-4 in penalties. Juan Rojas celebrates with his side.
Robana for the win. Man, they just want to keep us entertained and on the edge of our seats, Michael. That's what it is. Going into the second round there. Again, quality top to bottom, all across the board. You feel for these Inter Milan guys because nobody wants to go to PKs, and again, a quality match all the way around.
Our Adidas man of the match is Juan Rojas. He could have had 3 saves, but settles for the 2, and he saves his team and bails out his group in penalties.
He deserves the Gatorade pour. He deserves the lift above everyone. I mean, incredible work there for Rojas in goal. All 60 minutes plus some.
What a performance it was from Rojas and company. From 1-0 down to a victory in penalties. And our quadruple header winds to a close today. A joyous time in Florida. The Generation Adidas Cup comes to a close on day 1 with 2 penalties. And it's Orlando City taking out Inter Milan 5-4 in penalties in this matchup. For my partner, Katie Goodman, and our entire crew, I'm Michael Watchbank signing off. Talk to you again tomorrow at 10 a.m.
This copyrighted broadcast of the 2025 Generation Adidas Cup may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer and Player Development, LLC.